I never thought I'd break up with Notion. It's the ultimate do-it-all. Task, planners, trackers, literally anything. But here's the truth. It was wrecking my productivity. There's some major flaws with digital planners that most people overlook, and I fell for that trap. Today I'm walking you through the honeymoon phase, the cracks in the relationship, and exactly who I've moved on to, because yes, I found someone better. Let's start where the grass was greener, the honeymoon phase. Those first 3 to 6 months when you're just getting to know someone. You only see the good, the potential, and you ignore all the bad things. Notion's blank canvas pulled me in instantly. I spent hours perfecting dashboards, content schedules, daily trackers, all in the hopes of optimizing my life. It gave me this rush of control, like I was finally the architect building my dream life. Suddenly, I was tracking my habits, activities, and organizing my life better than ever. Every time I would check something off on my list, it gave me this great dopamine hit. I wasn't just productive, I was optimized. Like I leveled up my entire system. For a few months, it genuinely worked. I was more intentional, more focused, and more organized. But I realized soon that that was the peak. What I didn't see was that I was falling in love with the image of being hyper productive, not the system itself. But that was just the first of my problems, because when the honeymoon phase runs out, the cracks truly begin to show. It started as a slow shift. Around month 7, I asked myself, how much time am I spending on managing my Notion? It seems like a simple question, but I had no clue. So I decided to turn on a screen time tracker and see how much time I was actually spending in Notion. The results honestly shocked me. I was spending over an hour and a half every single day inside the app, tweaking dashboards, reorganizing pages, updating templates, all under the sense of optimization. The blank canvas that drew me in quietly became the trap keeping me stuck. And even after I noticed the screen time issue, I didn't stop. I kept adding more features, more tools, more accessories. Within another month, I had completely overbuilt my system. What started as a simple content schedule and daily tracker had turned into an over-bloated, confusing mess. I had a tracker for books I didn't read, a goal page that hadn't been updated in months, and a habit log that looked impressive but didn't help me perform any better. So I started feeling some real mental resistance just to open Notion. A simple thing like tracking my daily creatine intake required me clicking through so many pages. The best productivity systems blend right into your life and create the least amount of friction. Notion was doing the exact opposite. Online, you'll see so many people hyping up Notion, showing their super creative themes, dashboards, or tracking templates. You think to yourself, if I just do that, I'll have my life together. But here's my words of wisdom. Be careful. Instead of adding more layers, I want to show you 3 free tools that have completely changed the way I optimize my life. I finally broke out of the trap and became truly productive. Here's the truth. No matter how motivated you are, if you don't have a clear roadmap, you'll never reach your goals. That's why the first free tool I use is Todoist. It helps me break big, unachievable goals into small, actionable steps. It's not perfect, but for me, it's been one of the only tools I've found that help me turn ambition into daily action, and that's where real progress happens. So at a high level, Todoist is basically a supercharged to-do list. You can track progress, add tasks, and set deadlines. Let's run through 3 quick pros. 1, it keeps me focused on what matters today. 2, it's cross-platform, so I can use it on any computer, laptop, or phone. 3, it lets me set priorities, tasks, and deadlines without overcomplicating things. And honestly, one of the biggest wins for Todoist is that I can dump everything inside of it and then worry about organizing it later. I can get the brain dump out and get rid of my mental clutter. Here's how I use it right now. I track my daily to-dos, schoolwork, and YouTube deadlines. I also break down big projects and long-term goals into smaller steps. But like any tool, Todoist is not perfect. If you don't take the time to be very specific, you can easily spend so much time over-organizing. For me, the key to counteract that has been keeping things as simple as possible. That being said, Todoist is still mainly a task manager. It's not very good at catching random ideas, notes, or thoughts. But that's where Apple Notes comes in. Before I dive any deeper, I want to shout out Miles. He created the video, How to Use Apple Notes to Organize Your Life. I may touch on a couple things he shared in his video, but if you want a more in-depth guide on how to use Notes super effectively, check his video out after this one. Now, personally, Apple Notes has become the unsung hero of my workflow. At a high level, it's exactly what it sounds like. A simple notes app you can write anything down on the fly. You open it, type whatever you want, and it's instantly saved across all of your different devices. What's worked for me so well is how frictionless it is. You just open, jot, and get off. I tend to organize my thoughts and ideas into folders and have some structure there. But if you're not the kind of person that likes doing that, it's not forced upon you. And because it's so extremely lightweight, it helps me keep my random thoughts out of a more organized app like Todoist. I often use it to write down quick ideas for videos, random thoughts that pass my head, or things I want to research a little bit deeper. It's honestly become my brain dump zone. I could go put my thoughts and ideas there without worrying about organizing them or anything else. But it does have its limits. Notes can quickly become a digital trash can where you just dump endless thoughts in there. So I recommend taking at least a little bit of time every week to go through and clean up things that aren't relevant anymore. But sometimes when I need to slow down, visualize the big picture, or disconnect from tech altogether, pen and paper is the only way to go. I'm sure that sounds a little bit old school, but pen and paper has become the best tool in my entire arsenal. It forces me to slow my thoughts down because I'm limited at the speed I can write. But the biggest game changer when it comes to pen and paper is the no distraction factor. When I'm planning or writing away notes on my phone, it's so easy to get pulled away mentally by one single notification. But when you're writing on pen and paper, there's no notifications. There's nothing competing for your attention, and that's what makes it so powerful. You can lock in on one single thing, and nothing will pull you away. And that's without even mentioning its flexibility. You could build to-do lists, mind maps, plan out long-term goals. There's literally no limit to what you can do with pen and paper. But of course, it's not perfect. There's no backup for the pages you write on, and you can't just digitally search through it really quickly. That's why, for me personally, it works best alongside Todoist and Apple Notes, not a full replacement. So, if you're stuck in the optimization, Notion trap, or digital planner trap like I was, try simplifying things. Use these free 3 tools that I just gave to you. They're gonna absolutely revolutionize your productivity.